Hello students, in this lecture we will discuss some numerical problems related to the performance evaluation of cyclic devices and Carnot cycle. A heat engine produces work equivalent to 80 kilowatt with an efficiency of 40%. Determine the heat transfer to and from the working fluid. Now on the right hand side we have shown the symbolic diagram of heat engine. So this heat engine is being supplied QH amount of heat from the reservoir at temperature TH, and this heat engine, which is a cyclic device, is doing work equivalent to QH minus QL, and QL amount of heat is rejected by the working substance to the low temperature reservoir, which is maintained at temperature TL. So now efficiency, which is equal to 40%. So in fraction it has been written 0.4. That is equal to work done upon heat supplied. And work equivalent means work is being given here as the work transfer rate, that is power. So definitely QH will also be a heat transfer rate instead of simply heat transfer. So we have put the values in the formula and we get the value of QH equal to 200 kilowatt. Now W is equal to QH minus QL, so this will give me the value of QL, that is 120 kilowatt. A reversed heat engine absorbs 250 kilojoule of heat from a low temperature region and has a mechanical input of 100 kilojoule. What would be the heat transfer to the high temperature region? Also evaluate the coefficient of performance of the reversed engine when working as a refrigerator and a heat pump. So basically reversed heat engine means the heat engine in which the direction of all the processes have been reversed and now it is working as a refrigerator or a heat pump. So now normally in the case of refrigerator we are using the notation Tk and T0 for the high temperature and low temperature reservoir and Qk and Q0 for the heat transfer to the high temperature and low temperature reservoir. But since it was heat engine and the directions of the process have been reversed and now it is acting as the refrigerator or heat pump, we have taken the notations which we normally use for heat engine, that is TH, TL, QH and QL. So now 250 kilojoule of heat has been absorbed by the low temperature reservoir and requiring the input of work which is 100 kilojoule in magnitude. So basically COP of the refrigerator will be QL upon W and that will be 2.5. Now when it is acting as a heat pump, then objective is to heat up the space, means to heat up the region which is basically the high temperature reservoir. Now the magnitudes of QL and W is going to remain the same. No other difference has occurred in the question. Only thing that now it is working as a heat pump. So what will be the COP of that heat pump? So COP of heat pump will be QH upon W and it will be 350 upon 100 and that is 3.5. A heat engine operates on a Carnot cycle with an efficiency of 25%. What COP would a refrigerator operating on the same cycle have? The low temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. Now here also the heat engine which is operating on Carnot cycle will be reversed to work as a refrigerator. So when the device is working like a heat engine, then its efficiency is 25% and the low temperature reservoir is having the temperature of 273 Kelvin. 0 degrees Celsius means 273 Kelvin. So using these parameters we determine the temperature of high temperature reservoir and that comes out to be 364 Kelvin. Now with these two temperatures given, we have reversed this heat engine and it is now acting as a refrigerator, and obviously Carnot refrigerator, because earlier it was Carnot heat engine. So COP of the refrigerator, which is equal to QL upon QH minus QL, can be written as TL upon TH minus TL, because it is working as a Carnot refrigerator. So the COP of refrigerator would come out to be 3. 0.5 kg of air as an ideal gas executes a Carnot cycle having a thermal efficiency of 50%. The heat transferred to the air during the isothermal expansion is 40 kilojoule. At the beginning of the isothermal expansion, the pressure is 7 bar and volume is 0.12 meter cube. Determine the following: the maximum and minimum temperature of the cycle, the volume at the end of isothermal expansion, the work and heat transfer for each kg of 4 processes. Sketch the cycle on PV diagram. So first of all, we have drawn Carnot cycle on PV diagram. So 1 to 2 is reversible isothermal heat addition process, 2 to 3 is reversible adiabatic expansion, 3 to 4 is reversible isothermal heat rejection, and 4 to 1 is reversible adiabatic compression. Now working substance is air. Efficiency of Carnot is 50%, that is 0.5. P1 has been given 7 bar. Mass of the air is 0.5 kg and V1 is equal to 0.12 meter cube. Okay, it is written in the question that at the beginning of isothermal expansion means at 0.1. The pressure is 7 bar and volume is 0.12 meter cube. Now by using the state equation for air, which is working as an ideal gas, so we obtain the temperature T1. So T1 comes out to be 585.36 Kelvin, and I should mention here also that pressure has to be put in kilopascal, volume in meter cube, and R is the gas constant for air, which is 0.287 kilojoule per kg per Kelvin. Now this T1 is also equal to T2, as 1 to 2 is reversible isothermal process, and that is the high temperature of the cycle. There are only 2 temperatures for the cycle, TH and TL, and TH is equal to T1, which is also equal to T2, and that come out to be 585.36 Kelvin. Now as Carnot cycle's efficiency is 1 minus TL upon TH, so the value of TL, that is the temperature of low temperature reservoir, comes out to be 292.68 Kelvin. Now this TL is equal to T3, which is also equal to T4, and that comes out to be 292.68 Kelvin. Now the Carnot cycle have been shown on TS diagram. Now 1 to 2 is basically reversible isothermal heat addition process, shown by line 1 to 2, that is horizontal line. 2 to 3 is basically reversible adiabatic expansion, which is isentropic also, so it has been shown by vertical line. 3 to 4 is reversible isothermal heat rejection process, and that is shown by horizontal line. 4 to 1 is reversible adiabatic compression process, and since it is isentropic, it is being shown by vertical line. Now process 1 to 2 is isothermal expansion, so heat supplied to the working substance is 40 kilojoule, and since it is isothermal process and the working substance is air, it will work as an ideal gas, so the change in internal energy will be 0 and heat transfer will be equal to work transfer for this process. So work transfer is also equal to 40 kilojoule, and work transfer for isothermal process for an ideal gas is P1 V1 into natural log of V2 upon V1. So by using this concept, we can determine the value of V2, and that comes out to be 0.1932 meter cube. Now 2 to 3 is reversible adiabatic expansion. So during this, heat transfer will be 0, and if I apply the first law for the non-flow process, or you can say closed system. So that will be del Q is equal to du plus del W. So basically work transfer will be negative of internal energy change, and that comes out to be mCV T3 minus T2. So now work can be computed with the help of this formula. The value of m is given 0.5 kg, the value of Cv for air is 0.78 kilojoule per Kelvin, and both the temperatures are known. So the value of work is coming out to be 105.07 kilojoule. Now process 3 to 4 is isothermal compression. As QH is equal to 1Q2 and QL is equal to 3Q4, modulus sign has been put because QH and QL are basically representing the magnitudes of the heat transfer. They are not concerned with the sign of heat transfer. So QH upon QL is equal to TH upon TL for a Carnot cycle. So from this we can determine the value of Q34, and that comes out to be 20 kilojoule. So as the process is isothermal compression, so heat transfer will be equal to work transfer, as the change in energy will be 0. So work transfer will be equal to 20 kilojoule, which is equal to heat transfer. Now 4 to 1 is reversible adiabatic compression. Now here heat transfer will be 0, and we can determine the value of work transfer by the negative of the internal energy change during this process, and that comes out to be minus 105.07 kilojoule. A power cycle operating between two reservoirs receives energy QH by heat transfer from a hot reservoir at TH is equal to 2000 Kelvin and rejects energy QL by heat transfer to a cold reservoir at TL equals to 400 Kelvin. For each of the following cases, determine whether the cycle operates reversibly, irreversibly, or is impossible. So in the first case, QH is equal to 1000 kilojoule and work is equal to 850 kilojoule. Now in this question, what is being given? The temperature of the two reservoirs have been given, that is 2000 Kelvin and 400 Kelvin. Now from this one can determine that if a reversible heat engine operates between these two limits, then what is going to be its efficiency. And that is for sure, if any reversible heat engine is going to operate between these two temperature limits, it is going to have the maximum efficiency for any engine operating between these two reservoirs, means having the value of these temperatures 2000 Kelvin and 400 Kelvin. So that comes out to be 0.8 in our case. So the maximum possible efficiency of any heat engine operating between these two temperature limits, that is 2000 Kelvin and 400 Kelvin, is 0.8, that is 80%. And that will be the Carnot engine, or that will be the reversible engine. Okay, so no engine can have efficiency more than 80%, which is operating between these two temperature limits. Now in the first case, QH is being given 1000 kilojoule and work is being given 850 kilojoule, and by using these energy parameters, the efficiency of this engine comes out to be 85%. So this is impossible. Now for the second case, QH is equal to 2000 kilojoule and QL is equal to 400 kilojoule. So work would come out to be 1600 kilojoule, and the efficiency of engine comes out to be 80% by using these energy parameters, that is work done upon heat supplied. So it yields the result that the efficiency is equal to Carnot efficiency, and this is a reversible engine, as the answer is similar to the case of the reversible one which we have computed earlier. Now for the third case, QH is equal to 1600 kilojoule and QL is equal to 500 kilojoule. And by these data, we compute the value of work, which comes out to be 1100 kilojoule. Now efficiency, which is equal to work done upon heat supplied. So by these parameters, the efficiency comes out to be 68.75%. Now the efficiency of this engine is less than the Carnot efficiency. It is a irreversible heat engine. In the fourth case, you don't have to compute the efficiency for the engine, as it has been already given, and that is equal to 30%. So it is also the case of irreversible engine. A refrigeration cycle operating between two reservoirs receives energy Q0 by heat transfer from a cold reservoir at T0 equals to 250 Kelvin and rejects energy Qk by heat transfer to a hot reservoir at Tk equals to 300 Kelvin. For each of the following cases, determine whether the cycle operates reversibly, irreversibly, or is impossible. Now here also the refrigerator is operating between two temperature reservoirs, and their temperatures are, the low temperature reservoir is having the temperature of 250 Kelvin, whereas the high temperature reservoir is having the temperature of 300 Kelvin. Now any refrigerator which is operating between these two temperature limits, that is 250 Kelvin and 300 Kelvin, can have maximum COP of 5 as given on the slide, because Carnot COP is equal to T0 upon Tk minus T0, and that will yield the maximum COP of 5. So the refrigerator which is having the maximum COP will be none other than the Carnot refrigerator, or you can say reversible refrigerator. Now first case, Q0 is equal to 1000 kilojoule and W is equal to 400 kilojoule. Now from the energy parameters, we compute the value of COP, and that comes out to be 2.5, as COP is equal to Q0 upon W. Because COP is less than the Carnot COP, it is the case of irreversible refrigerator. Now second case, Q0 is equal to 2000 kilojoule and Qk is equal to 2200 kilojoule. Now W, which is equal to Qk minus Q0, comes out to be 200 kilojoule. Now COP as computed from energy data, it comes out to be 10. So basically that is not possible, because the maximum COP could have been only 5. Third, Qk is equal to 3000 kilojoule, W is equal to 500 kilojoule, and from this we compute the value of Q0, which comes out to be 2500 kilojoule. So it would yield the COP as computed from energy data to be 5. So basically it is the case of reversible refrigerator. Now in the fourth case, W is being given 400 kilojoule and COP has been given. So no need to compute COP here. We can directly say that as COP is greater than Carnot COP, it is the case of impossible one. Two reversible power cycles are arranged in series. The first cycle receives energy by heat transfer from a reservoir at temperature T1 and rejects energy to a reservoir at temperature T2. The second cycle receives energy rejected by the first cycle from the reservoir at temperature T2 and rejects energy to a reservoir at temperature T3, lower than the T2. Derive an expression for the intermediate temperature T2 in terms of T1 and T3 when first, the work of two power cycles are equal, second, the thermal efficiency of the two power cycles are equal. So here in this case, two reversible power cycles, or you can say two reversible heat engines, are arranged in series. Now the highest temperature reservoir, that is maintained at temperature T1 in the question, is supplying heat Q1 to the engine A, which is doing work equal to WA, and rejecting Q2 amount of heat to the intermediate temperature reservoir, which is maintained at temperature T2. Now this Q2 amount of heat is supplied to the engine B, which is doing work equal to WB, and rejecting Q3 amount of heat to the lower temperature reservoir which is maintained at temperature T3. Now, as in the first case, we are having the condition of work A is equal to work B. We can say Q1 minus Q2 is equal to Q2 minus Q3. Rearranging the terms, we get 2 is equal to Q1 plus Q3. Now we divide both the sides by Q2 and we get the result 2 is equal to Q1 upon Q2 plus Q3 upon Q2. Now, since these both engines are the reversible engines, we can say Q1 upon Q2 is equal to T1 upon T2 and Q3 upon Q2 is equal to T3 upon T2. So, we substitute these values in the equation above and we get T2 is equal to T1 plus T3 upon 2. That is intermediate temperature in the terms of temperature T1 and T3. This could have been done by alternative method, as work done by engine A is equal to work done by engine B. So we can write work in the terms of the product of efficiency and heat supplied. So it is efficiency of engine A into heat supplied to the engine A, which is equal to efficiency of engine B into heat supplied to the engine B. Now for reversible or Carnot engines, we can say efficiency can be expressed in the terms of temperature. So efficiency of A is equal to 1 minus T2 upon T1 and efficiency of B is equal to 1 minus T3 upon T2. So we have substituted these values in the above equation and we get both sides the terms of temperature. If we simplify these, we get the same result, that is T2 is equal to T1 plus T3 upon 2. Now the second condition was when efficiencies are equal. Now we have substituted the value of efficiencies for the Carnot engines and we get the result T equal to under root of T1 into T3. Two reversible heat engines A and B are arranged in series. A rejects heat directly to B. A receives 200 kilojoule at a temperature of 427 degrees Celsius from the hot source, while B is in communication with a low temperature sink at temperature of 7 degrees Celsius. If the work output of the engine is twice that of B, find first the intermediate temperature between A and B, the thermal efficiency of each engine, heat rejected to the sink. Now the two reversible heat engines A and B are arranged in series. The highest temperature reservoir, which is having the temperature of 427 degrees Celsius, that is equal to 700 Kelvin, is supplying heat to the engine A, which is equal to 200 kilojoule, and this engine A is doing work equal to WA and rejecting Q2 amount of heat to the intermediate temperature reservoir, which is maintained at temperature of T2, and this heat Q2 is basically supplied to the engine B, which is doing work equal to WB and rejecting heat, that is equal to Q3 to the low temperature reservoir, which is having the temperature of 7 degrees Celsius, that is equal to 280 Kelvin. So as the condition has been given that work of A is equal to twice the work of B, so we write Q1 minus Q2 is equal to 2 into Q2 minus Q3, and that gives the result 3Q2 is equal to Q1 plus 2Q3. Dividing both sides by Q2, we get the result 3 is equal to Q1 upon Q2 plus 2 into Q3 upon Q2. And as for the reversible engines, we can say Q1 upon Q2 is equal to T1 upon T2 and Q3 is equal to Q3 upon Q2 is equal to T3 upon T2. So substituting these values in the above equation, we get the temperature in terms of T1 and T3, means we get the value of or expression of intermediate temperature T2 in terms of T1 and T3. Now the efficiency of a engine can be determined from the values of temperatures. T2 comes out to be 420 Kelvin as calculated from the expression given on the last slide, as the value of T2 was T1 plus 2 T3 upon 3. So that gives the value of T2 equals to 420 Kelvin, and with this efficiency of the engine A comes out to be 40%. Now the efficiency of engine B can be computed with the formula, that is 1 minus T3 upon T2, and that comes out to be 33.33%. Now efficiency of engine A is equal to work done by engine A upon heat supply to the engine A. So that will give me the value of the work, that is equal to 80 kilojoule. Now as the work done by engine A is equal to Q1 minus Q2, that is heat supplied to the engine A minus heat rejected by the engine A. So that gives me the value of Q2, and that comes out to be 120 kilojoule. Now as the efficiency of engine B is work done by engine B upon heat supplied to the engine B, so that gives me the value of WB, and that comes out to be 40 kilojoule. Now as WB is equal to Q2 minus Q3, so this gives me the value of Q3, that is equal to 80 kilojoule. We could have done this thing alternatively also, which could have basically dispensed all these steps, and that was Q1 upon Q3 is equal to T1 upon T3, and that will give me the value of Q3 equals to 80 kilojoule. So we could have eliminated many steps, and we could have got the value of Q3 directly by using this concept, that is Q1 upon Q3 is equal to T1 upon T3, and we get the value of Q3, that is equal to 80 kilojoule. This is all for the numericals that were concerned to the cyclic devices and the Carnot cycle.